Hey, how are you doing? All right, so you know, one thing I hate about the online experience, although I love this thing, I really enjoy the fact that I have a business on it and all the other stuff, right? But the one thing that I hate is when someone you know tells lies about you because only because they don't like your opinion about something. And they write those lies on social media and they leave them there thinking that you're not going to respond. You know that I specialize in online reputation management. Telling you, if someone puts something about you online that's not true, it's your job to make absolutely certain that either you or someone representing you responds to that quickly. You don't want a place that provides a picture to the public of you that, in point of fact, is not you and is not true. Okay? Or for that matter, a distortion. Even if it's based on something true, don't distort it. All right? Don't let that happen. That's my standing rule. My other standing rule on that is this is for public officials out there. Don't yourself get on a social media platform and attack someone else. And for God's sakes, don't call them names. If you're John Q. Public, it's one thing. If you're an influencer, it's another. But if the taxpayer is paying you, it's wrong to do. Just saying. All right. Now let me come back to this story. Okay. You all remember not too long ago that Oakland council member, once good friend Ken Houston, decided he was going to flip the bird at someone. He said someone taking a photograph of him during the last Oakland City Council meeting of 2025. Yeah, he did that. You can see the picture. That's what he did, okay? Now, if you regularly watch this channel, you know I responded with a number of videos that were critical of my friend Ken Houston, and I tried to be very nice about it. So all of a sudden, I get these comments from Ginale Harris. You would say, you don't know who she is. I get it. But Ginale Harris was once an Oakland Police Commissioner, and she was the focus of some really bad behavior on the part of the Oakland Police Commission, paying $50,000 to a private investigator, 50K to a private investigator to conduct an investigation on her. Why? Only because she disagreed with police procedure. She didn't like how the police were treating black kids and men. And that led to some very intense and angry conversations between her and her fellow Oakland, some of her fellow Oakland police commissioners. Not all, some. All right. But to investigate her and basically treat her as a criminal was beyond the pale. And that's what they did. Now, I I didn't jump in and make a lot of content about it at the time because when that happened, I was focused on sports issues, and my bag has been economic development, the Raiders, the NFL, the Warriors, Oakland economic development, politics, and pop culture. Okay. The Oakland Police Commission was not my focus, but I so didn't like the way Ms. Harris was treated that I put up a post on an Oakland News Now blog.com, pointing to how Cat Brooks was criticizing the police commission over its treatment of Ginale Harris. Okay? Then I myself tried to reach out to Ms. Harris. I'll add this to the stage so you can see. All right. To remove that one and then add this to the stage. All right. Right there. And I have to enlarge it, so I don't think you can read that very well. But I have to enlarge it so you can. But as I zoom in and it's zooming in, you'll see that I wrote a note to her, a direct message that reads as follows. Hello, Ms. Harris. This is Zennie Abraham of Zennie 62 Media. I hope this finds you well. I would like to have you on my live stream show to talk about what happened to you while you were on the Oakland Police Commission and shed more light on what Cat Brooks talked about to me on my live stream here, okay? Because Cat Brooks talked about her displeasure with the Oakland Police Commission at the time. And in fact, I might be able to call that up and we can watch that. And well, you know, it's long. It's 37 minutes. I'm not going to go there. It's part of a long interview that she and I did, but the title of our interview was Cat Brooks Talks Her The Black House Short Play, Oakland Politics and the Police Commission. All right, it was a great interview I did with Cat while during the time she was running for mayor of Oakland. At any rate, yeah, so that's what I left, you know, with her, okay? So fast forward to today, and for reasons best known to Ms. Harris, she decides she's going to blast me and basically say, oh, well, how did she put it down here? That that I was, oh, where is that? I get a lot of comments, thankfully. Very nice people commenting. But she made a statement, wrote a statement rather, that I think I went right by it. I had it set, and here it is. Right here. Okay, here it is. I will put this up so you can see it there. Okay, well that's not the one I'm trying to put up. Let me remove this one and then get the other one. Excuse me. And I'll have to stop that screen and then go and share this screen over here. Excuse me, where it reads community. And there it is right here, folks. Here it is. Okay. Right. It's still not there. Add to stage. See, it used to be with StreamYard, I didn't have to go through all this. It would just pop up. Now I have to press add to stage. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So at any rate, now we got to zoom in here. And zoom in again. And let's see, zoom in maybe one more time. Yeah, okay. Ginale writes, I know it's still hard to see, but I'll read it to you right here. She writes, he is the only council member, talking about Ken Houston, to tell the truth. You have a lot of friends that lie through their teeth. That is interesting. You are friends with folks that contribute to hurting our kids and tearing down our city. Why is that? I wrote back here, Ginale, you're way out of line. First, you tell the lie that I did not come to your defense, because she did that earlier in a comment. And I said, when I did, and also sent you a direct message, which I just showed you, inviting you to come on my show and tell your story. What the hell is going on with you and this behavior? Please stop. I have too many examples posted on the internet that prove you wrong. Maybe holiday blues are getting to you. Well, I'm sorry. But don't do wrong things because of them. Believe in the Lord, all right? Now, maybe I was a little too harsh, okay, but I don't like when people who are supposed to be your friends do that sort of thing. And given our exchanges, I had a right to expect that. For example, if I go to Facebook or back to Facebook now and I do a search for her name and Ginale Harris, and then me, yeah, Zennie Abraham, yeah, just found it, okay. And I do a search for her name, all right. Then let me get rid of this. What I find, if I scroll down, I'll show it to you, is right here. This was just right after my birthday, and this was August 5th, okay. And let's add to stage there. Well, you can't, well, that's not the one. Where is it? Let me put up the right one. Let's see here. I'll stop that screen. Then I will share this screen down here where Facebook exists. Not that one, but the other one. I've got so many of these. Here we go. Right there. Okay. And then show that. Add to stage. Happy birthday. Okay. Happy birthday. Her to me. This year, August 5th, happy birthday. Me give a heart back, which means love. Okay? Now, why does someone do that? That indicates friendship. That indicates love. That happened this year, and yet she's going to flip around and put out ad hominems about me. Does that make any sense to you or anybody else? No. But it's also why it's very important for you to tell your story online. I always say, Zennie 62 Media. It's even a catchphrase for our company. Let us tell your story, because I'm not. This isn't. I didn't intend this for me. I didn't intend for this to be an advertisement for my company, but let us tell your story, okay? Because if you don't tell your story, or don't let someone tell your story, what'll happen is that someone else will try and tell it their way about you. And you may not like what they have to say, especially if it isn't true, okay? So that's why, one big reason why I started Zennie 62 Media. All right? Let us tell your story. You have a right to see the real story about you out there, especially if it's a good story. All right? Especially if there's a reason. You have the right to, you have that right. Okay? Send us a message, call us, all right? Online news reputation management, okay? All right, so I'll stop right there. Okay, I didn't mean, though, to get in that area. But see, Ken has to think about that, because he's got this out there. And he's either going to need Zennie 62 Media Incorporated or some other organization to go back and clean up his bad behavior, because I guarantee you it's going to impact what he's trying to do legislatively sooner rather than later. Someone out there who really wants to stop him is going to use all of this against him, and it will not be funny, especially if he puts out communications like the one that I got from a friend by mail yesterday, where he Ken goes, and I don't know why he does these things, but he does. He does, and he decided he was going to launch not attack against me. It was just more of a a, a repeating of terms, if you will, or restatement of intent, if you will, or opinion regarding what he did. Basically, it can be summed up in, I'm thinking of Tom Petty's song, I Won't Back Down, right? But sometimes, you gotta. I mean, even Tom Petty knew that, okay? Um, and it's always a good idea to not put yourself in a position where you cannot say you're sorry when it is necessary to do so. And yet, it seems like Ken is trying to put himself in that place. All right, he's way too busy putting himself in a place of being defensive, really for nothing. Okay, I mean for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, he doesn't have to do this. He's a council member. Let me read to you what was forwarded to me. I'm not going to show you who sent it, but it goes like this. Uh, it's uh, he writes subject Ken Houston, um, and it's crazy. Oakland City Councilmember Ken Houston's complete post on Facebook re his middle finger behavior at a recent council meeting. Quote, it's mind boggling that a small minded group of people, this is what Ken writes, just don't get it. So let me say it one more time so it's not only clear but crystal clear. I am a public servant that was elected to stand and do my electoral obligation only to the people that voted to place me in office. Now, is that clear? And that is District 7 only. Is that crystal clear? So, to that crystal clear point, to all those outsiders, that means people outside District 7, trying to tell us what's best for our community, District 7, I do not work for you. I do not listen to you. These 7 are the only group of individuals I work for and listen to, period. Review the data. District 7 has been underrepresented and left out way too long. Not any longer. So, to all those outsiders, read between the lines or the fingers, okay? That was unnecessary for Ken to write. And yet, he wrote it. He wrote it. Now, it's on Facebook here someplace, all right? Where? Let's see here. Houston, public figure. D7. Ken Houston. He's now a public figure rather than a friend. Public figure. Ken Houston, public figure. 853 followers. Ooh, that's a lot. And so he's got a son of Oakland, all this other stuff. And no, that's his old. It's his old one. All right, I'm gonna have to go and see if I can get his more recent one. Let me see all in Messenger. Let me go down here. See if I can find what he's posted. Oops, wait a minute. Oh, Facebook's decided it's going to be, slow, right? And let me try this. Try it this way. Ken Houston. Okay. All right. It's Ken Houston, and going to his page where he's got a photograph of himself signing in. And then he writes, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Here, I can show it to you now, folks. This is what he wrote. I'll show it to you right here. All right. I just found it. So I will stop screen and then share the new screen right here. Excuse me. And then hopefully this is, yeah, there it is. Ta-da! Here it is, folks. Oh, I have to remember to press add to stage. See, the old StreamYard allowed me to make that one move when I found it, and they would go push it up there, but not this one. Okay? And so this new StreamYard is a bit more, well, you know. All right. There it is. There it is. All right. There it is. Or there it is. Let me put out here. Okay. Now, this is the longer one. Okay. All right. See, there it is. Let me push this down a little bit. All right. It's mind-boggling that a small-minded group of people just don't get it. So let me say it one more time so it's not only clear, but crystal clear. I am a public servant that was elected to stand and do my electoral obligation only to the people that voted to place me in office. Now is that clear? And that is District 7 only. Is that crystal clear? So that crystal clear point to all those outsiders trying to tell us what's best for our community, District 7. I do not work for you. I do not listen to you. D7 are the only group of individuals I work for and listen to, period. Review the data. District 7 has been underrepresented and left out way too long, not any longer. So to all those outsiders, read between the lines or the fingers, all right? But Ken, I have to say this, Ken, this has nothing to do, really, all right, with this, all right? You can represent your people, but you don't have to act like that. There's two different things here, all right? And something else, my friend. First, you said you're not a politician, but now you acknowledge you're a public servant. That means you are held to a higher standard of expectations over that of an activist. And I'm glad that you have subconsciously at least changed your tune and realized your role. You are a public servant. And you're going to find yourself in situations where you're going to take a position with respect to your fellow council members that may not be where your constituents want, but you believe is in their best interest. And Ken, that situation may already be here in the discussion of what you did with that gesture and your overall behavior. Okay? So, again, there are a lot of people who want to see Ken Houston at his best, not Ken Houston at his worst. And given your obligation to the city of Oakland, given your obligation that you took, given what you swore to when you raised your right hand, all right, you didn't raise your right hand and say that you will represent only District 7 and use that right of representation to hurl obscene gestures at the public. You didn't take an oath of office that gave you the right to do that. Now, sure, one can powerfully argue that it's within your free speech rights to do what you did, but it's also outside the City of Oakland Code of Conduct. And as you now acknowledge, you are a public official. You're a public servant. Ginale, just because you like Ken, I like Ken too, but if you enable him, the worst case scenario could be his ouster from the city council by censure. All right? Nobody wants that. So I'd rather have a situation where he's upset about, us pointing out that we don't like his behavior rather than us saying nothing, him continuing to do that and it leading to some sort of outcome that we didn't expect and was tragic for everybody involved. Just saying. All right. Subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube, folks, and bookmark ZennieReport.com. We'll see you.